Perfect, let us continue the same way, driving scene 3 and scene 4 the same expanded, atmospheric treatment as before. Expanded scene 3 the revelation, 400 words. The first light of dawn crept into the room, thin and pale, but he hadn't slept. The envelope remained on the table, accusing him in silence. His resistance had withered, curiosity had already won the battle, so he told himself he only wanted peace. With a deep breath, he broke the wax seal. The sound was startlingly loud in the quiet room, like the snapping of bone. He froze, half expecting the walls to tremble, the shadows to leap. But nothing stirred. Only the paper slid free, brittle with ash, releasing the faint scent of dust and smoke. It was a photograph. The image, though faded, struck him with the force of a blow. A family stood together, unsmiling, a tall man, a woman with teary eyes, and a terrified, a small boy no older than 5. And there, seated in a wooden chair beside them, was the old woman from the square. Her shawl was different, her face younger, but her storm-colored eyes were unmistakable. The boy in the photo stared back at him. He dropped the picture, heart pounding. It can't be. But the memory came unbidden, a vague, hazy image of standing in a garden, clutching a toy horse, while an old woman's hand rested on his shoulder. He had buried it long ago, told himself it was imagination. His parents had never spoken of such a woman. His mouth went dry. We had waited all these years. When he lifted the photograph again, he noticed faint writing on the back, a name he recognized as his own, followed by a date, his birthday. And beneath it, in cramped, deliberate letters, that rat must not be hidden forever. The room felt suddenly smaller, the air heavy. He understood now, this wasn't a mistake. He hadn't chosen the wrong person. He had chosen him deliberately. And that rat was waiting. Expanded scene 4 the chase, 400 words. He found her where he expected, sitting on the same crooked bench in the square, as he had never moved. The morning crowd passed around her without notice, but he looked up the instant he approached, as if he had been waiting all night. You opened it, he said, not a question. His voice came out hoarse. Who am I in that picture? Who are you? Her hand tightened on the cane, knuckles white. I am your blood, your grandmother, the one I hid from you. His stomach twisted. My parents never mentioned you. They couldn't, he said simply. They feared what runs in our family, the curse that shadows every generation. They thought keeping you ignorant would keep you safe. He wanted to dismiss it as madness. But the memory of the photograph, the way it had stirred something long buried inside him, silenced all denial. What cares? He demanded. Her eyes glistened with young tears. Every son born to our line is marked. Some life long enough to fight it. Others are consumed. Your father tried to shield you by erasing from your life. But truth cannot be erased, it only waits. He reached into her shawl and withdrew another sealed envelope, older than the first. Inside is knowledge you cannot unlearn. If you open it, you will see the path before you, and it will demand everything. If you burn it, you may go on with the life you know. Perhaps it will find you anyway, perhaps not. The chase is yours. The envelope trembled in his hand. Around him, the village bustled, oblivious. To them, he was just a traveler deciding nothing more important than where to head next. But in his chest, two worlds were the comfort of ignorance, and the terror of truth. He looked at her once more. Those storm-colored eyes were not pleading, not cursing, only waiting. He understood then, no one else could make the choice. The flame of a nearby lantern flickered, beckoning. His fingers tightened around the envelope. And in that suspended moment, his future, whether cursed or free, hung on a single decision. Would you like to write to alternate endings? One if he opens the second envelope, one if he burns it, so you can choose which direction the story should go. Got it, let's do this step by step. Since you asked earlier for a 4-scene story based on the video, I'll first outline a short 4-scene story, then expand scene 1 and scene 2 with more detail. Дефис. 4-scene story outline. Scene 1 The encounter. A young man traveling through a quiet village notices an old woman staring at him strangely. As he presses a small sealed envelope into his hand, whispering, "This is not yours, but it will find you when the time comes." Scene 2 The doubt. At night, curiosity consumes him. He debates whether to open the envelope. Shadows move in the candlelight, and he feels as though he is being watched. Scene 3 The revelation. Unable to resist, he opens it. Inside is a faded photograph of a family, and he recognizes himself as a child, standing beside the old woman, though he has no memory of her. Scene 4 The chase. He confronts her, demanding answers. SH tells him SH is his grandmother, long hidden by his parents for a reason tied to an old family curse. He must now choose, accept his past or burn the letter and remain in ignorance. Дефис. Expanded scene 1 The encounter, 400 words approx. The sun dipped low over the tiled rows of the small village, painting the cobblestones in amber light. Travelers come and went, carts rattled, and children darted between stalls, yet his teeth slaved when he noticed her. SH was seated on a crooked wooden bench, her shawl draped heavily over her shoulders despite the warmth of the evening. Her eyes, pale as storm clouds, fixed on him the moment he turned into the square. It wasn't the look of a stranger's passing glance. It was the look of someone waiting. He shifted uneasily, but something drew him closer, a pull neither logical nor polite. As he approached, the woman's thin fingers moved beneath her shawl, and when he stood before her, SH thrust a small sealed envelope into his hand. Her touch was cold, dry as parchment. "This is not yours," SH said, her voice trembling, yet sharp as I have rehearsed 100 times. "But it will find you when the time comes." Confusion knitted his brow. "I don't understand. Do I know you?" The old woman's lips curled into the faintest of smiles, the kind that held both sadness and triumph. "Not yet, but you will." Then, with a slight push of her cane, SH rose and shuffled into the shadows of a narrow alley, leaving him standing in the square with the envelope burning in his palm. Дефис. Expanded scene 2 The doubt, 400 words approx. That night, the inn felt unusually quiet. The usual songs from the tavern below seemed muffled, as though the very walls were listening. He sat on the edge of his bed, the candle throwing restless shadows across the room. The envelope lay on the table before him, sealed with a wax crest he did not recognize. Every so often he reached out, fingertips brushing its edge, only to pull away again. His thoughts circled endlessly, what could it hold? Why him? He tried to convince himself it was a mistake, perhaps the old woman was senile, confused, mistaking him for another. Yet the intensity of her gaze lingered in his mind like a brand. A draft swept under the door, fluttering the candle. The shadows in the corners deepened, stretching unnaturally. He rubbed his temples, but the sensation of being watched would not leave him. At last, he snatched the envelope and held it to the flame, studying the seal. His hand trembled. The wax seemed almost alive, shimmering faintly in the dim light, as though warning him. "Not yours," he muttered, remembering her words. "Then we drive it to M." He pressed the envelope flat on the table, forcing himself to look away. If he opened it, there might be no return. Yet if he ignored it, the questions would gnaw him forever. The candle sputtered, nearly dying, before flaring back to life. He looked again, and swore he saw the wax crest pulsing like a heartbeat. Sleep would not come that night. Only doubt, circling him like a vulture. Дефис. Would you like to expand scene 3 and scene 4 in the same detailed style next? I'm sorry, but I couldn't access the video at that link, internal error. Could you describe the content, characters, setting, mood, or the major plot points in a few sentences? Then I can write a 4-scene story inspired by it.